How can I simplify complex endgame calculations? Have you ever found yourself tangled in a complex endgame, wondering how to make sense of it all? Simplifying those tricky calculations can be a game changer. Let's break down some effective strategies to help you navigate these situations with ease. First, mastering basic endgames is essential. Familiarize yourself with fundamental scenarios like king and pawn versus king, rook and pawn versus rook, and bishop and pawn versus bishop. These basics are the building blocks for tackling more complicated positions. Next, consider simplifying the position whenever possible. Exchanging pieces can reduce the number of variables you need to think about. This is especially useful if you have a material or positional advantage. Just be cautious not to give your opponent any chances to equalize. Another key aspect is activating your king. In the endgame, your king transforms into a powerful piece. Move it toward the center of the board to support your pawns and create threats against your opponent's setup. Using pawn majorities can also be a decisive factor. If you have more pawns on one side of the board, focus on creating passed pawns. These are pawns that have no opposing pawn on the same file and are more likely to promote. Calculating ahead is vital in the endgame. Practice visualizing several moves in advance, especially in situations like pawn races or king and pawn endgames. This skill helps you anticipate threats and opportunities. Applying the principle of two weaknesses can be very effective. By creating two weaknesses in your opponent's position, it becomes challenging for them to defend both at the same time. This could involve creating a passed pawn on one side while attacking a pawn or piece on the other. Managing Zugzwang situations is another powerful tactic. Zugzwang occurs when a player is forced to make a move that worsens their position. In endgames, especially king and pawn or rook endgames, creating Zugzwang can give you a significant advantage. Lastly, regular practice with specific endgames is crucial. Focus on scenarios like rook and pawn versus rook or bishop and pawn versus bishop. This practice helps you develop an understanding of how different pieces interact in simplified positions. By applying these strategies, you can simplify complex endgame calculations and improve your overall chess performance. Remember, each endgame is a chance to refine your skills and enhance your game.